Let's get a quick take on this last one as we're running out of time. Accusations surrounding an alleged assault charge from 1983 tripped up U.S. Senate Republican candidate Darryl Glenn this week. Glenn's responses to the accusation have included that he does not remember the incident, that it may have involved another Darryl Glenn, and that the charges were falsely accused. The incident in question was from 1983 when Glenn was 18. Greg, Eric, I apologize. Eric, your short answer on the Darryl Glenn situation.
Happy to start either place here, but I think the statement that Darryl Glenn finally came out with, maybe on Thursday of this week, was a beautiful statement, and it painted a picture of what his upbringing was like. The problem was the statement was 2 days late. First rule of politics is when it comes to opposition research, before you ever research your opponent's vulnerabilities, you research your own vulnerabilities and be prepared to answer that. He did not pass that test. He looked like he was all over the map. It didn't look like he was quite ready for prime time, and how he handled it this week, no matter that it was 33 years ago. The 33 years ago doesn't matter. It's how you handle it in the present tense that matters.
Greg, will how he handled this situation dog him for the campaign?
I don't think so. I mean, I think there are a lot of people, when you look at the circumstances as he ultimately described them, would say, hey, right on. You stepped in and stopped something from happening that I think a lot of people think an 18-year-old kid ought to do. You know, his problem was just dissembling at the very beginning. There's another, you know, it could be my brother, it could be this. But I also understand that, you know, over time, something as bad and as personal as that, you know, there can be some gauze that sort of comes over a situation like this. But I don't think it's going to really dog him unless people want to be uncharitable. That's my view of it.
Patty, what do you think?
I think the bigger problem is it shows sometimes he speaks and doesn't think. This isn't the only instance where we've seen it. We remember with Kaiser when he was talking about his war record, you know, and he had no evidence as far as we could tell. He just threw it out there, and here he had a really bad early response to the Denver Post. People can be very sympathetic to troubles you're going through when you're 18. His backstory, once he remembered what it was, incredibly compelling. But it does indicate he doesn't respond well, or he's not thinking things through, and I think we'll see more instances before we're done.
David, tempest in a teapot or fair criticism how it was handled?
As a political matter, he didn't do a good job by lying about it for a couple of days, and then, but as others have said, it's the incident he was involved in. He was actually doing the right thing under dangerous circumstances. You know, Michael Bennet went around and won re-election by saying that Ken Buck wanted to repeal the 17th Amendment, and even after the paper allows people to vote for senators, and even after all the papers called him on it and said, you're just lying through your teeth, he kept on brazening it out and doing it. So, you know, in terms of credibility, I don't think this puts Bennet at a disadvantage versus Bennet.